this reminds me of 1980, for totally different reasons. But I mean,
but Jeff and I have good memories about that. So
yeah, no, but Carter had at the time, the lowest approval ratings, I think, of any president. I mean, we later get to Nixon and now Trump, et cetera. But that night in 1980, there were 2 or 3 places where we thought Democrats were in trouble and they were going to lose the seat. It was a wipeout. I mean, I remember waking up the next morning and going like, who the hell thought that this senator, that senator, this something like 8 senators went out the window, were shown the door. And I think
and then,
no one saw coming. So I think that's where we're going to get this time.
That was when Republicans elected a bunch of people who had no business getting elected, like Paula Hawkins in Florida.
Right.
Because
they were on this year the other way.
They were on the ballot, and it, they all lost in 6 years.
Yeah. So, I think Dave Jolly and Vindman do not go to sleep on any of these races. I mean, I think
even Montana.
I think Montana's in play. It's just the places that we never could have imagined are in play. Doesn't mean we'll win all of them, but I think we'll win enough, particularly on the Senate side. There's plenty on the House side. There's no. I mean, look, I wouldn't put like 258 seats majority for the Democrats being. I know that sounds insane, but I wouldn't. That's bigger than I said a few minutes ago. But I mean, like it could get that crazy.
Yeah, well, already the generic ballot tests are like showing 10, 12 points nationally. And at that level, you're already talking a 25 or 30 seat game right there. Yeah. And if you go beyond that, then it's Katie bar the door. It's like, there's going to be people calling the D trip going, I won. And they're going to say, who are you? We don't even know who you are.
That's what right now, like the 2nd district in Iowa is not on anybody's scope, right? The 1st and 3rd district, everybody's talking about those are the places where we're going to flip. The 2nd district that Hinson vacated to become the senator it ain't going well. So what I'm saying is like we're going to
Miller Meeks is at 28% job approval. I mean, that's
well, there's a reason Joni Ernst didn't run for reelection. I'm sure she just wanted to spend more time with her family, but you know what I'm saying.
At the hog farm. So let me ask you guys something. It seems to me that the way that we always looked at these races about what is the approval of the party and that, I don't think it's irrelevant, but I don't think it's as relevant as before. I mean, if you're an independent voter, what you think about the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, how much is that really going to decide how you vote versus, $5 gas? I mean, just because you're pissed off at $5 gas doesn't mean you love the Democratic Party.
Well, the November elections in New Jersey and Virginia were long ago before $4 gas. And independents were voting 67, 70% for the Democrat, not 53-47 one way or the other, which is usually what's going on. No, 67% voted for Cheryl, and I think it was 80% or 70%, excuse me, voted for Abigail. You see it in the polling in Iowa and other places. I mean, Trump is now down to a minus 12 approval rating in Iowa, where he won by double digits. So, I mean, but he's, it's not apples and apples, but
I'm fascinated by Iowa. It's a state, I think, with the highest literacy. I worked there for Grassley. I did back in the day all the Iowa straw polls, which Jeff will remember.
Back before when Chuck Grassley only had 2 numbers in his age before he surpassed 100.
This is a true story. I can say that last century I cut a spot for Chuck Grassley saying this was his last race. Now, we never ran it, but somewhere in the archives of my old firm, we have that spot. And that was last century. So,
I haven't spent any time in Iowa in my career, so
you wouldn't know.
Putting my finger on what's going on there.
You wouldn't know. So when you were out there, how long were you out there recently, Joe?
4 days, I think. Yeah, it was. And I talked to reporters. I talked to the candidates. I talked. I wasn't just. And got a good feel for what was going on the street, with just people, at the bar or out there, and it is night and day from where it was in 2024. A part of it, by the way, I think too, is I think Minneapolis, Minnesotans and Iowans have always sort of seen each other, and I think Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska and Iowa picked up a lot more intensity and localized media from Minnesota. It was just, they were inundated with it in Iowa and Nebraska and that whole region up there. And I think that had a big impact as well. I mean, I think there's just we want to end this. And so what this is about, it's Trump.